On May 14, 1948, after the Holocaust and the end of World War II, the nation of Israel was reborn, and the Jewish people once again had a land to call home.
I believe the greatest sign of our time is the rebirth of the Jewish nation. The last time that there was such a thing as Israel, Jesus Christ himself was walking on the earth. And there are many prophecies that talk about in the latter years and in the latter days, God would regather his people from the four corners of the world.
The prophecies warn that when Israel is reborn, all of the remaining events within the scriptural timeline will come to pass during what is described as the last generation. So according to the prophetic timeline, our final hours have already begun, triggered by the rebirth of a nation that is quickly becoming a focal point for global conflict.
So I say this generation will by no means pass away until all these things are fulfilled.
So how long is a generation? This is one of the more debated topics in eschatology amongst researchers which see ancient prophecy define a generation in the last days as being around 80 years, and in some examples as long as 120 years. Surprisingly, though the scriptures were written thousands of years ago, these time frames for a generation appear to coincide with exactly what modern medical science defines as one's average to maximum lifespan today, something that was not always the case. For example, only a few hundred years ago, during the medieval age, the average lifespan was only around 35 years. So if we are indeed living in the last generation, as prophecy claims, then it stands to reason that we are far closer to the end of the world, as most people would want to believe. Of the estimated 2,500 prophecies contained within the ancient biblical timeline, only 500 of them remain to be fulfilled. So what exactly do they foretell? These final prophecies provide a sequence of specific events foretelling of an unprecedented union of world relations and economic systems that will give rise to a new authority with influence over all global affairs. But as soon as the world achieves this new union and declares peace and safety, humankind will be on the brink of chaos and unprecedented natural events that will usher in a period of death and destruction that is foretold to end 2/3 of the global population. So if we are truly approaching the end of the age, then there should be evidence that the remaining prophesied events are converging to fulfillment right before our very eyes, foreshadowing a perfect storm of global change unlike any other time in history.